What up, world? We back. It's your boy Chuck Wig Ill, CLBMG, back with another album review. How y'all doing? You chilling? Good. So this time we're gonna talk about Xxxtentacion. The album's called 17. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't believe I even listened to this album. I can't believe I'm doing this review. I actually had mad reservations. I had no intention of listening to this music. I thought this was going to be a half-ass attempt by some wannabe thug rapper that doesn't understand music, that doesn't get what this music life is about, what a musician's purpose is on earth when your voice is this big, when you have this much of a following, when you have this many people listening to you. A lot of these young guys, they don't get it. They listen, they get these followings and they piss it away. They throw out trash after trash, and it's just like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's all contrived nonsense about the same bullshit. And I don't even be calling people music trash, but that little Uzi Vert joint to me is absolute trash. So I had no intention of thinking that this would be anything other than the same kind of garbage. And I'm gonna say I was absolutely surprised. Once you go into this, I know people want to hate a guy like this off the rip. I know about the allegations of assaulting his pregnant girlfriend, of kicking her, punching her while she's pregnant, and that's whack. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not cool at all. And who knows what really happened? I don't know. But and I'm not prepared to forgive a man for nothing like that. But we all got our demons or whatever, and I don't know what really happened. So at this point, all I can do is judge this man on this album and the music that comes from this album. It's pain music. What I want to say about this music, the first thing you're going to have to do is suspend your preconceived notion that this is a rap album. This is not a rap album. This is an album of music. If you were to take this album and try to deconstruct it and break it down into former pieces of work by musicians and artists and put it in different boxes, you would have to take apart, put it in a box of Eminem. It's a little bit of Bone Thugs. It's a little bit of PM Dawn. And it's a little bit of Andre 3000. And a little bit of Tech 9. It's so many elements to what this kid is doing. It's not dumbed down music as you would think. First things first, this is not a rap album. Before you even start, it's like taking a Drake album. You got to understand before you start playing it, it's not a rap album. This ain't a rap album. This is a collection of pain music, if you want to ask me. I think this dude, now, yeah, it's short. It's a glorified EP. It's 11 tracks, 21 minutes. That's a trip to the store. You know what I'm saying? That's a trip to the store. That ain't really much time to say that's an album. Songs are mad short. But once you peel back some of the layers of this, and once you understand this ain't a rap album, I think dude got boxed in because of what he's done. He probably come out with mad rap, trap, all kind of shit going forward. Who knows what he's gonna do? But when I listen to this album, this is clearly not supposed to be a rap album. The dude said from day one, this is an album for depressed people and about depression in and of itself. That right there tell you everything you need to know before you even start listening to it. But what I did not expect, I thought it was going to be a bunch of sad sack shit. This is artistic. This is a lot of acid rock and alternative rock, just very, very different than what I thought going in. I don't know much about this guy. I barely know how to pronounce the name, Xxxtentacion. Took me a couple months to even get that when I first started hearing it. I am not like a fan. I only know of him because of antics. A lot of shit, like we saw a lot of crazy madness over the summer. This is a wild ass summer for this kid. You know, and it started out with this whole shit with Drake biting his flow, which I don't even know what that shit's about. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, who knows. Starts with that, then he says he's thankful that Drake even mentioned him, then it goes into Drake's a bitch, just all over the place. It's just like, all right, here we go. Some dude with mad different, he's spazzing. He'll flip one day, the next to some bipolar shit. So I was like, all right, I wrote him off just off that. First you praise Drake, then he's a bitch. So I'm like, all right, so he's gonna take this for the popularity. He's trying to come up off this Drake shit, and so it's gonna be all over the place at that point. So I wrote the shit off. Then you got the beefs, and I don't even know nothing about the beefs. I just know little clips here and there of him getting rocked on stage. The dude just clotheslined him. I don't know much outside of that. I just know that the dude's on stage barefoot, and the dude came with like 60 miles an hour and hit him with the Jimmy Superfly bullshit. That's all I know. I don't know his music. I know that he blew up on SoundCloud. So I'm going into this album wide-eyed. Fresh set of ears, fresh set of eyes. I did not anticipate much from it, to be honest with you. And quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. This did not come off like I thought it would. From beginning to end, you can tell that this album is this guy's creation. From the time it starts, he tells you with the explanation, the intro, that this is not something just for your consumption of, just to quickly judge it, just to I guess to consume it real quick, throw it on at your next fucking party and enjoy it that way. I think it's more so you're supposed to digest this. You're supposed to dig deep and let this sink in and get from it more than just, oh, that's a hot track. And it's not, this doesn't sound like somebody who tried to, it's just like with Jay-Z's 444. It doesn't sound like somebody who tried to placate and tried to emulate what's hot right now. They weren't trying to fit into a puzzle and slide their piece right in and be hot like everybody else. And that's to this guy's credit, because that's an artist. Andre 3000 never tried to be hot and sold more records than a lot of these guys will ever sell. Combine all these mumble mouth guys, and they're not going to touch Dre's sales. They're not going to touch his artistic integrity. They're not going to touch the love he has. Say what you want, but this guy, now, I know he's young and he got a long way to go to prove to everyone what he can do. But with this type of start, you cannot say this guy has no talent like you can with a lot of these young cats from right now. You can say a lot of shit about this dude, but you can't say he ain't got no talent. And maybe the negative stuff comes from the inner emotions that seem to control this guy. He seems to be ruled by his emotions and the baggage that he has before he ever got into rap. I mean, dude's in and out of jail. If you watch his story, I watched the story about who he is and who he was before he became famous. And this dude has a lot of pain in it, so that comes out in music. And therefore, you get an album like this that's not, like I said, this is not a rap album. Once you judge it on not being a rap album, you gotta have a whole different ear on. You gotta put a different earmuff Because you're not judging a rap album no more. You're judging a collective work, a musical composition. And we're not talking about bars no more. Yes, this is like a alternative rock album with rap thrown on it. This is not a rap album. So with that, I'm judging it based on the musical content, not the raps, not how hard the beat was, not how dope, you know, that he made each and every kick and snare. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's more bigger than that, because at this point I'm hearing a guy that's not going for MC of the year or rapper of the month, or, you know. So I'm grading on a different curve, and that's what you're going to see with this review. So without further ado, I want to review this album. Again, I did not think I would even get through this album, let alone like any of it. I thought it was going to be off the rip garbage. And I'm here to tell you that if you put a different mind frame on, this is not a garbage album. All right, so let's review. Xxxtentacion 17. First track, The Explanation. So this is an intro. It's basically dude on some kind of computer mic, apparently, or talking into a tape recorder, really low budget, which is, you can get away with a lot of stuff these days in 2017. You can pretty much record your shit on your laptop and throw it out, and if people like it, they're gonna dig it. So apparently that's what he's doing with this. He's speaking into, could be literally into the laptop, telling you that this is an album about his emotions. It's here to help you with your depression, to cure your depression, which is that's difficult in and of itself to say you can even try to cure depression. But the dude that's big. He's trying to do that. It is what it is. I don't know if this is real. It could be contrived, like, oh, I'm gonna go for, it's like a guy going after the gay crowd just to go after them and say, you know, I'm here for you, whatever, and get that push, because it seems to be a lot more maniacal. I feel like Lil Yachty kind of went after that a little bit and tried to bring that in, whether he was feeling it or not. And I don't know if this is the same way, but he's starting it off with, this is me, this is my emotions, this is my life, I want you to feel what I feel, this is where it's at. It's letting people know off the rip, you ain't getting no turn up music. If you expecting that, turn the shit off. Next track, Joseline Flores. It's a dope 90s beat. The kick and snare, it feels very 90s to me. It feels very drum machine, drum pattern. It's harmonic. It's I was very impressed. This came off as a Bone Thugs feel. Like it came off Drake, Eminem, all that stuff. It's feeling like this guy kind of, and I have no idea if these are his favorites, if he's fans of these people, but it feels like he kind of absorbed this game a little bit. Because like some guys, they can learn how to rap, but they don't absorb the game of what it's about, and it feel like this guy kind of get it. So again, I'm surprised, but this is a good song. These songs are actually better than I thought. I'm giving them more credit, because I'm not judging them as rap. Next song, track 3, Depression and Obsession. This feels like the Beatles to me. This feels like it's 1967 and they got flowers in their hair and they're protesting the war and they're depressed and they're taking drugs, taking acid. This shit feels just like that. It's no different to me. It's not trying to be anything. It just is what it is, and you got to applaud a person that's being true to themselves. They're not trying to appease anyone with a bunch of fake nonsense that's just thrown together to be different. I think this guy just is different, and coming from a guy that's in and out of jail and sound like he wanted to fight and, you know, just beat dudes up all the time, this is not what I expected. It's not what I expected, and I have to give him a thumbs up for even doing this kind of music. So we're gonna keep it moving. Next song, Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares. This is another beat. It felt like a 90s kick and snare. It felt like, I don't know who produced these songs. I did not do the diligence. He probably produced them himself, I would assume. But some of the stuff is so musically inclined, I'm going to go and think that's it's another hand in here that has compositional skills and has arranging skills to make these songs into what they've become. I think they're very intricate. They're way more intricate than it seems. So by that stretch, I think that this is another good track. I think dude is on some psychological. Some of the stuff you're not even going to catch. Some of the stuff is very it's intricate, but it's also kind of psychotic, some of this stuff. And you got to dig through and see if you really believe it or if it's just theater. And it's up to you to decide. I don't know one way or the other if this is theater or if it's real or if it's contrived, but it all makes for good sonic value. Next song, Revenge. Revenge sounds like something in a horror movie or like a dark comedy with something weird and wacky's happening. It sounds like he's talking to some girl. I don't know what girl he's talking to. I don't know if it really is a girl or it's another imaginary opponent or character that he's speaking to, but apparently he wants revenge on that person, and he put it in the music form. Just ain't no different than Eminem with all the shit he said about Kim and all the times he killed Kim and he killed Dre and he killed, you know, the little old lady across the street that was with the barking dog, all this shit. So this is just music, and if you read too much into it and you start trying to emulate it, then there's something wrong with you. It's just music, and it doesn't faze me. I just listen to it, and I am entertained with it. Another entertaining track. I thought that this guy is beyond his musical level at this point. We already seeing a level that I didn't expect with these young quote-unquote rappers that we got today. So kudos to this dude. We're about to be 6 songs in. Save Me. PM Dawn is much more musical. It feels like a plea for help. Feels like a cry for, I don't want to say attention. It feels like something where the author knows someone is listening, but he doesn't care, and he wants to say this even though he may be judged for it. I don't think this guy is worrying about being judged at this point in his career, and that's a good thing. All right, next song, Dead Inside, Interlude. That's more of a song than an interlude. It says interlude, but it's much more of a real song. I'm not gonna say I'll listen to all this stuff, but what I am gonna say is it's much better than it should be. And a lot of the stuff I may revisit and I may not. Some of these songs I'll skip them, some of these songs I'll replay. But this is not an album that I feel is a lot of skipping needed, because it flows. I don't think it goes way too left or right. I think it flows. Again, I was surprised. We're looking at a young, this could go any direction with this kid. He can go real trap and fuck up the whole shit, or he can stay eclectic and be very marketable that way. So we'll see. So Dead Inside, nothing's wrong with this. Next song, Fuck Love featuring Triple Red. Fuck Love. This is the closest you're gonna get to that commercial 2017 hip-hop rapper, young, we don't give a fuck, we want to turn up. This is the closest you're gonna get, and you can still hear the pain in this guy's voice. I think that this is probably going to be one of the most popular songs on here when they get to dissecting his album. This has probably got the most radio play to me, and it's the closest you're going to get to anything that can mesh in a environment that we are in right now. It's not a bad song, it's a good song, it's dope. I think it is what it is. Next song, Carry On. I like this one for the drum pattern. I think, again, he does not, I think his kicks and snares selections are more flat. They're more 90s. They're more digestible to someone that listens to the music that I prefer. And I think that his ear is a lot like mine, believe it or not, despite our musical tastes. Mine is a little more, mine is very eclectic, but it's also more, it's not an old school vibe, but it is. So if you can make sense of that, an old school vibe with a new edge, that's me. And it sounds like from these tracks that I'm hearing that he has the same edge. Next song, Orlando, piano driven. It's kind of short. It's it's something that you're gonna have. It's gonna have to grow on you. If you want to hear it, you're gonna play it again. You probably, if you don't want to expand and try to follow what he's saying, what he's talking about, and if you want to listen to, try to make out what he's actually singing about, you probably won't listen to this again. So it's up to you to do what you want to do. Last song, Ayala outro. This is probably my favorite song on here, and it's probably the only song that I saved after hearing it. I saved it to my favorites, that it will be in my playlist of songs that I go to when I want a certain vibe. Overall, even though this album is short, like I said, you could literally take a shower longer than this CD runs. But with that being said, you could almost call it a glorified EP. But with that being said, surprising, bro. I did not expect to like anything on here. I thought this was a nut job, a maniac, a psycho that was going to be half the time screaming, half the time calling you an asshole and talking about dumb shit. This is not what I got. So I am actually, this is a tough call because it is a little short to be an album. And it's not much to me rapping on it. So this is anywhere between B++++ and an A. So this is a good album, believe it or not, coming from me. So that's it. Give it a try. Let me know in the comments what you think. And subscribe to CLBMG. Subscribe to Audio Liquor Magazine. That's where I've been doing most of my work lately. So you can head over to Audio Liquor Magazine and like the video. Don't like the video. Do whatever you want to do. I'll see you next time. Peace.